So you've done it. You've gotten out of your body. Your own consciousness separated from the physical body. It's an amazing thing. You maybe you felt the vibrations and you came out of your body, and now what? Or maybe you got out through the dream state. Now what? Now where do you go? What do you do? You should have had an idea before you got there. Okay, we'll get into that. I'm your guy Frank. I got the old background, but it's really pink today because the sun is not having it today. But hey, whatever. That's grow light. It's supposed to be purple. I think I'm gonna get something more like amber color, but it's either this or it's a black hole back there. So let's get to it. So today we're diving into the incredible and sometimes surprising world of the astral realm and all the things and all the phenomena that you can experience in the beginning and how you navigate all that once you're out of body. Ready to go explore? Let's do it. But before we get started, if you want to really explore the channel. Hit the subscribe button. Look at some past videos that we have. We got the lucid dreaming videos up there too. So this is all, we're pretty much now, it's all about the astral realm, astral things, astral travel, stories and techniques, and some of the things the government has done in them as well, which has been, that's some of my pretty interesting stuff. The CIA has looked into it. The Army's looked into it. It's the real deal. And now you know because you've gotten out. Or this video is really, it should be for you before you did that, before you started. Because if you get out and you're like, I don't know what to do now because I didn't think about it, you're going to kind of waste that experience. So let's get right into it. The initial exit sensations, some people when they get out, they feel a pop, they feel a breaking, they feel a snap, like they're separating from their body. There's also a sensation when you come back into it. Let's see, I'm more about the floating. I did the floating thing, and I felt like my hands were floating up, and my feet floated up, and my arms floated up, and my head floated up, and then the abdomen floated up. That was my thing. Some people do the vibrations and they feel all the vibrations, and then the vibrations recede, right? There can be a feeling of weightlessness. I did that too. I felt weightless. It was a weird feeling. I felt, this is like my first out of body, full out of body. I felt weightless, like my feet were on the floor, but they kind of went like this. And then I kind of worried about it, and then I kind of tilted sideways, and I started to fall through the floor. It was a weird thing. If you don't plan this out beforehand, this is what happens. Okay, so you might see your physical body. That is a weird thing. I've done that too. It's not good because you will be more attracted to go back to it. And you just got out. You just got out there. You don't want to go back to it right away and ruin it. So I have a thing where I try not to look at the physical body. It's weird anyway to see yourself laying there. It's almost like you're dead, but not really. It's like it's its own thing. Don't worry. It's completely fine, and it's got more of you with it than with the conscious self that you're being now. So you can go off and do your own thing. It's got plenty of protection. It's not abandoned. It's not vacant, right? It's fine. Just like every night you went to sleep for the entirety of your life, okay? It's got the same amount of protection. So don't worry about that. Now, some people may see a silver cord. This used to be a lot more common when we had telephones with cords on them. But nowadays we have cell phones, and we've kind of broken away with that. But a lot of people still feel comfort in seeing a physical some kind of physical connection. Okay, it's not really physical, but it looks physical, a connection between what they are now and their body. They like to see that comfort. Um, there's always a connection because you're aligned with it, you're entangled with it. You could go across, you could go out of the universe and still have connection with. It doesn't matter where you go or when you go, you always will have connection timelessly and through space with your physical body. You don't need a cord. You don't need a frequency and you don't need a phone number or password or anything. You are the password. You will always have connection with it. And all these situations and feelings are completely normal. Everybody, a lot of people, everybody has had some of these. A lot of people have, you know, sounds and a chord, and don't worry about those things. Uh, they will come to you. I looked when I was out. That's one of the first things I did when I got out, right? I was like, is there a cord coming out of my behind or something? Right? There was nothing there. Um, but I guess I'm a different generation. So, where do you find yourself when you get out at first? It depends on how you got out. But my first time was in my bedroom because I was laying down in my bedroom, which that's where most people's beds are. And most of the time they try this. Whether they try it on a sofa, yeah, I've been on a bed, I've been on a love seat, I've been on a sofa, I've been in a chair, and all of it. Wherever you get out in the physical, that's where you're going to be. That's where you're going to look back at your body or where you came from or what's around you. Like if I was doing it right here in a meditative state, it would be here. This is where I would get out. Um, yeah. So there are a lot of different places people can find themselves almost automatically when they get out of body. It's not always their bedroom. And if you enter the astral from the dream state, that's almost infinite where you can find yourself. Don't don't worry about it. It's all safe. It's all good. Now, some people find themselves in familiar places like their friends' houses or significant locations to themselves. They're usually positive, um, like your mom's house or your childhood home, those kind of things. Sometimes people go to their workplace. I don't think I've ever been to my workplace in the astral before. Eh, not lucidly, right? Um, and let's see. Some people find themselves, and I've been there too occasionally, find themselves in the lower realms of the astral. And that's where the bad kids hang out. That's where the bullies hang out. And they will try and pick on you or trick you or jump scare you, that kind of thing. And as soon as you see yourself, if you get out and you find yourself in some kind of a horror movie landscape, get out of there right away. Ask for help. Intend to leave. Ask for Jesus. Ask for God. Ask for your higher self. Whichever works for you best, and get out. It doesn't mean that something terrible is going to happen, but man, for me, I'm like, there's always a clock ticking. Because there's only so much time you get while you get out. Don't waste it, um, with some lower astral entity who wants to scare you. Okay, anyway, let's see what else. There's also a lot of landscapes. Now, Robert Monroe has talked about Focus 10, I believe it was. And that was like if I remember correctly, one of his focuses anyway, it was a park. A lot of people find themselves in nice landscapes, parks, gardens, cities of light, uh, natural wonders, I found myself in more than one baseball fields. They're nice. They're comfortable, and there was nobody on them but me. I was, hey, story time. At one point, I found myself on a baseball field, and I was like, well, I know this is not the physical, so I'd like to see more around it. And I looked around, and it was a baseball field, and it was set up, it was built in a way that was physically impossible. The stadium was incredibly high. Um, I don't know, quarter mile high. There must have been millions of seats around. It was just, it circled all around, and it was way bigger than one baseball field. So I was like, what's going on here? So I flew up, 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 up. Probably got to maybe 10,000 feet, maybe 20,000 feet, somewhere around there. And looked down, and there were four baseball fields mapped out. There was like one here, and there was another one there, and then there was another one there, and there was another one there, right? And then there was other fields on the side, like soccer fields and football fields down there. And then the stadium was like right here, and all the seats. It was an incredible build, whoever built it, or what individuals ever built it. Um, but yeah, you can find yourself in some fantastical places that are just unimaginable. For me, most of the time that I get out, originally, especially at the beginning, I'm just by myself, and I'm usually in a build that has no one else in it. No one. I've been in whole cities that are totally vacant except for me. But there are versions, there are frequencies of that city that have a population in it and a frequency that doesn't. And different frequencies have different kinds of populations in it. It's complicated. But yeah, you can meet other entities in the astral. And entities, I just call them people because that's what they are. The less there are, I would say, densities to people, and it really happens in the opposite direction as you're thinking. The more dense you're thinking, more dense is more evil or whatever, but it actually happens in the opposite direction. The more consciousness, the more dense consciousness an entity has, the more intelligent and more um, divine, honestly, the entity is. And the entities that have almost no consciousness at all, if you can hear that, there's some guy with a muffler going through. Um, that guy, that guy. That's the people with the no. But some of the entities are so basic. Um, they are now. If you go to the Law of One, and Ra talks about, I don't even know where to start with all that stuff, but he grades them in densities. And these would be third density beings. They are just so incredibly basic. And they start off like kids, right? They're troublemakers. They laugh at everything that goes wrong. And they're in the lower astral. And you can feel the lower astral it's less. There's a lot missing there. Um, the higher astral realm, it's heady, and it can get really heady when you. But I won't get into all that. Um, yeah, every time I say I'm just thinking there is so much information to go over. Anyway, so the entities it could be like your guides, it could be other people projecting. I've never seen that before, by the way. I have never seen that before. I mean, you know what? I'm going to try that one. I have people sleeping, and they're wandering the astral in their dream state. Non-physical beings, aliens. They're all there. They're all people. They're all people. Let's not put them up on a pedestal. Oh, wow, he's from another planet. He knows everything. Or where people do it's an entity from the astral plane. He knows everything. Let's ask him everything and do everything he says. People are just as stupid, just as dumb, just as trustworthy or not trustworthy in the astral as they are here. The only real difference to that is that you have telepathy over there. And you can tell if you're honest and you're open to that kind of communication, you'll know exactly what they're thinking and what their intentions are. And you can just do whatever you want after that. Which brings me to your abilities. Abilities are different there than they are here. Here, it's about your five senses. Maybe you have six, but that's basically what it is. There, it's different. You can, for the beginner, you can fly. You can pass through objects. You get telepathy as a given and manifestation, like instant manifestation there. And your senses are enhanced. We'll go over that in a minute. So flying, you can fly there, but it's not a gravity realm, right? You have gravity here in the 3D physical, but you don't have gravity in the astral. It's all energy there. You're always flying there when you think about it. You're always where you think you should be. You're not actually walking. You think you're walking. You're flying. This is what you're doing all the time. Because there's no gravity. There's nothing to hold you down. Like the first time I got out, we're probably going to need some more light. But a big cloud came over the sun, and it's afternoon. Bear with me. Uh, anyway, the first time I got out right, I floated up a little bit because there was no gravity. There's no actual gravity. And then I tilted, and then my foot went through the floor, my leg, and there was no actual gravity. And so I didn't know up from down, and I kind of fell through the floor. So we're always flying. We're always levitating. It's an awesome experience too if you let yourself go for it, especially if you're in the physical. If you find yourself, your astral body in the physical, it's fly time. Go for it. It's an amazing experience. Just the feeling of it is an amazing experience. You'll get your fill of it pretty quickly, but it's amazing. You really need to try it. Passing through objects. You're an entity, your consciousness, your energy. If you're in the physical or the astral, you can pass through just about anything. It depends on what you think you can and what you think you can't. If you think it's a hard object, it's going to act like a hard object because you told it to, basically. And it's the same in the astral, and it's the same in the physical. And it's a weird thing. Especially try this in the physical. If you're in the physical and you're in your astral body, put your hand through some walls, baby. Or pass through it on your own. Now, when you're new and you're doing that, it gets trippy because when you see nothing, your mind wants to create things, and that can ruin your whole astral projection. Just trust me. It'll bring you back to the body, or it'll chuck you off into a dream, or who knows what. And then you won't even remember you had this amazing experience. But yeah, try it. Try it with your hand first, and it might not go through at first. But say, I'm astral, and I'm just going to press, and I'm not going to think, and I'm not going to worry too much. And then you'll see it'll start to go through, and it'll feel awesome. Telepathy. That's another thing. You will know what other people thoughts will come to you. They will come to you like somebody is sending you a word almost. Now, you might hear a word and get a thought. That is also very common. I do that a lot as well. So like if somebody told me tomato, I would get a thought of a tomato, and I would also hear the word tomato at the same time. It gets tricky though when people are telling you about dates. Sometimes they'll think, so like they'll say, I got one where I was in the future of 21, 25, and well, I think I was. I asked what year it was, and I was told in thought that it was the year 2120, and I heard in verbalization that it was the year 2025. What year? It doesn't really matter. I mean, right? I think what that means is like, take this year. It doesn't really feel like this year right now. It kind of feels like last year or maybe the year before, and I think that's what that is. So the feeling is coming across as one thing, and the knowledge is coming across as itself. Telepathy, anyway. Communicating without words. You don't need words there because your energy, their energy, you don't have a vocal cord, you don't have a throat, you don't have lungs, there's no sound there. So even if you had all those things, it's just energy. This nothing would happen. And manifestation, you're going to manifest everything at a second as you think of it. That can be a problem, right? Because you'll think, oh, I wish I had my old car, and then your old car just appears. It's just right there. Or you turn around and you see it and it wasn't there a second ago. But there is a way to tell if that's actually a part of the build that is there in the astral, or did you just put that there with your imagination? Turn away. So, like, okay, so, oh, there's my old car. Wow, I wonder if that was there before I got here, or did I just imagine that? Well, I can figure that out. I can turn over here, look over there. Oh, wow, look at that stuff. That's interesting. Kind of get yourself interested in some other stuff over there. Yeah, whatever. Oh, there's some nice flowers over there. That's cool. Oh, let's see if my car is still there. And my car is not there. And then my imagination put that there. My subconscious put that there. There's other stuff there now. That's how you can tell if that is a manifestation of yours or not. But you can do that. You can say, I would like a fancy car. I would like a hot rod car right now, and it'll be there, and you can ride that. You can get in that. It's not going to... Caveat, cars are not physical in the astral, and they will not act like this physical. They will act weird. Let's move on. All right, so I turned on some lights in here. Which brings me to my next topic. Senses, what you see. Colors are often brighter and sounds clearer, heightened intuition. Let's go over those. Color. First of all, you're a human being. You don't see all the colors like you think you do. Purple. This is the color of the sky outside. On a sunny day, cloudless day, this is the color of the sky. All the other animals see it that way if they can see colors. It's purple. I swear. Right? You're a human being. You don't see purple. Okay? You don't see it well. Not at all. Matter of fact, when they first started building LCDs, which are these little light things that go into the phones and TV screens, all the colors work perfectly. And people could see all the colors perfectly. But when they built the purple LCDs, nobody could see it. They had to increase the purple CD output by 10 times so people could see it, so human beings can see it. All the other animals, they had no problem with it. Well, if they could see that color. Animals are weird. They're all over the spectrum. But this is the color of the sky. So when you get out into the astral, colors are different. Because these babies, these little dull cow eyes, they can't see everything. For instance, butterflies, not only can they see that the sky is purple, but they can see 11 primary colors. You get 3, okay? So when you get out in the astral, you're not seeing with physical eyes. You're taking in energy with your energy body, and that you can see the full spectrum. You can have 11 primary colors. It's going to blow your mind, and when you come back to the physical, your brain might not know how to process all that. But you will have it. You'll have the memory of it. You just won't know how to put it into words or tell people, or how do you express a color anyway in words? It's really difficult. Yeah. So, and sounds will be clearer. This is the thing too. I don't wear glasses in the astral. Why? I don't have eyes there. Why? Why would I have slivers of glass in front of my face? Um, oh, hearing problems go away. Eye problems go away. People that lost a limb, they got the limb. Yes, you don't have to be, if you're in a wheelchair, you don't have to be limited. I've seen people who are in wheelchairs in the astral. I have, and they're not limited, right? They teleport. They sometimes they move the chair because they think they have to, but for the most part, they just teleport here and they're here and then they're here and they don't know how they're doing it, but they just like everybody else. They're floating and moving around. So this brings us to challenges. How clear things are visually. That can be a problem for people. They have a clarity problem. I had that at one point as well. Um, Now, you are just an energy, a consciousness there. So you don't actually have any eyes, you don't have any eyelids, blah, 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 right? So it's all in your head. So you can tell it's all in your mind because you don't even have a head, let's face it. It's all in your mind, and you can just say, I want to see, I want to see, I want to see. And you'll want to see and you'll see. And then you'll just do your thing. Um, it tends to be a kind of a fear. You don't want to really see it kind of thing, and or you don't trust your vision, and then your vision will show up as untrustworthy, right? That's sort of where it is. Just say, I trust it, I know it'll work, I know it's natural, let's do this. And argue with it if you have to get it to work. I had that problem, and that's what I did. I said, no, I want to see, I want to see, I want to see, and I kept saying it until that whole thing went away. But there was a time where I was just like in the astral, like this. Basically, I was like, what am I doing here? I'm wasting these opportunities. Fear of unwanted encounters. Don't fear that, because when you fear it, you'll bring it in. Just focus on positive encounters. Positive. This is Disney World, dude. Go for it. Go for it. Don't be looking. If you're the type that goes to Disney World and you look at the spit on the sidewalk and you're like, oh, look at that. How disgusting that is. That's just wrong. Then maybe you're gonna have a problem with this, because there is so much other stuff in this world and at the astral. Don't focus on the negative, because then you'll get it. But if you just reinforce the protection techniques, that the white light around you, calling in your guides, calling in Jesus, or whatever it takes for you to move forward and help you, your higher self. That one really works for me. There's also a thing of getting stuck, physically stuck. I've had that a couple times too, because it's about your mind moving and not your legs. And your mind will kind of like ask your legs to do things and you don't have them. And your astral body will just stay there. And you'll be like, well, how come I'm not moving? I feel stuck. I think I'm stuck. I'm stuck. And when you say you're stuck, then you're stuck. And now you have this whole problem about being stuck. Focus on the intention of going where you want. This technique, the finger technique, put it in front of you, and it'll look like this, I guess. And I want to go there. Go there. Let's go there. That shifts your intention on your ability to move forward instead of being stuck. You're not stuck, you're just not moving forward or going wherever you want to go. You're focusing on a belief, the belief that you're stuck. Metaphor for life, by the way. Okay. Fear of or actually returning to the body too soon. Happens a lot. It's a thing. People get out, they say, wow, look, I'm going to explore here, and psh, they're back. Or they get out and they're like, don't think about returning, don't think about returning, I don't want to think about returning, and psh, they're back. So, yeah, it's a thing. Don't worry about it, don't think about it again. You'll go back, your body will pull you back soon enough, dude, soon enough. Don't worry about that. Okay, so I changed things around, but tell me in the comments what's your most surprising thing you've ever experienced during an astral projection. For me, the most surprising thing, wow, there's a lot of surprising things. You know, it's like an episode of Star Trek or something. There's a lot of surprising things going on. The most surprising, uh, the most surprising thing I'll say, right off the cuff, is probably just being in somebody else's body. Yeah, that's happened more than a few times, like 6 times. But I have to say, in the astral, it's not actually a body. It's their dream body or their astral body, and you're there. And then you're not, and then you're gone, and yeah, they know about it. It's okay. But it's a thing. I've woken up in unfamiliar situations in bedrooms. Like I woke up in one bedroom. There were about 6 other sleeping bags on the floor. I was like, well, this looks like a kid's bedroom, and this sleeping bag is like 4 feet long. Um, I'm 6 physically. What is the situation? And nobody else was in there. I was the only one in there. Right? And then I had to piece together this whole adventure that I was going to go on. So remember, the astral realm is a vast, incredibly spacious, amazing realm full of potential and growth and exploration and connection. Okay? Your first experiences may be a little disorienting, but you'll get used to it. You did once before. This is not new to you. If you've had reincarnations, you've gone in there before, and and the whole thing and everything like that. So, yeah, um, get used to it. Know that it's safe and that you're safe, and try and have fun with it. And ask any guides or anyone else that you'd like to come along with you, and they will come along with you. They'll be there. Just remember, you're safe. It's the Honestly, it's the astral body is the body you had before you had a physical body. You can't have a physical body without an astral body. Not to my knowledge, you can't. Okay. Anyway, so it's a safe place. You've been there, you've done it before. You might recognize people and soul family and astral friends and stuff like that. That is all happening out there. So if you recognize people in one way, but you don't recognize them in another way, that's a whole little adventure you can go on. Where do you know these people from? They will tell you. They'll be more than happy to tell you. Okay, if this video was entertaining and helpful, or drop a like down below, subscribe. I'll see you in the astral, and be safe, people. But you don't have to be safe in the astral. It's all safe anyway.